They tell you your whole life, be happy, chase it, find it, earn it, protect it. I did all of that. For almost 9 decades, I did all of that. And then I turned 85, and I sat with the silence, and I realized I had been running toward the wrong thing this entire time. My name doesn't matter. My age does. 85 years of living has taught me something worth sitting down for. I grew up in a household where happiness was treated like a destination, like a city on a map. If you just worked hard enough, made enough money, found the right person, raised good children, you'd arrive there. You'd unpack your bags and finally rest. My mother used to say, "When things settle down, we'll be happy." My father worked 60-hour weeks because he believed the same thing. When things settled down. Things never settled down. They just changed shape. New problems replaced old ones. New worries filled the space left by the last ones. And happiness kept moving, always just around the next corner, always slightly out of reach. By the time I was 50, I had most of the things I thought would make me happy. The house, the career, the family. And still, there was this low hum of not quite enough, not quite there yet. So I chased harder. I read the books, I meditated. I made gratitude lists. I tried to manufacture happiness the way you manufacture anything, with effort and systems and the right ingredients. It worked. Sometimes. For a while. And then the hum came back. The night everything changed, I wasn't doing anything significant. It was a Tuesday in November. My wife, Ruth, had gone to bed early. My grandchildren had gone home after Sunday dinner 2 days before, and the house had that particular quiet that only comes after people you love have left. I was sitting in my chair by the window. The street outside was empty. A single street light was on, and a cat, a stray orange with one torn ear, was sitting directly beneath it, looking up at the sky. I watched that cat for 20 minutes, not thinking about anything, not trying to feel anything, just watching. And in those 20 minutes, I felt something I hadn't felt in years, maybe decades. Peace. Not happiness, not joy, not the kind of thing that makes you want to shout or celebrate. Just a quiet, solid, unshakable sense that this, exactly this, was enough. And then it hit me, like cold water on a warm face. I had spent 80 years trying to be happy, and in 20 minutes of doing absolutely nothing, I had stumbled into something better. So what is it? What's the thing I do instead of chasing happiness? It's not one thing, it's 4, and each one took me longer to learn than the last. Happiness, the way most of us chase it, is about pleasure. Good food, good times, positive feelings. We want to feel good, and we call that happy. But pleasure is temporary by design. It comes and it goes, and when it goes, we feel the absence of it like a draft under a door. Presence is different. Presence is just being completely inside the moment you're in, not thinking about the next one, not measuring this one against a better one you remember. I have a granddaughter, Clara. She's 7. Last spring, she asked me to sit with her on the porch while she drew pictures. Just sit. She didn't need me to talk or play. Just be there. The old version of me, the happiness-chasing version, would have been half present, half thinking about something else, an email, a worry, a plan. But I'm 80 now. I've learned what it costs to be half present. So I sat with Clara, and I watched her draw a purple horse with 6 legs and a smile, and I didn't think about a single thing beyond that porch. And when she held it up and said, "It's us, Grandpa, you and me," I felt something that no vacation, no achievement, no perfectly pleasant day had ever given me. That's presence. That's what happiness was always pointing toward, but could never quite reach. That's the first one. But here's where it gets harder, because the second thing I do instead of chasing happiness, most people resist it. Most people fight it their entire lives. The second thing I do, I look for meaning instead of feeling. Happiness is a feeling. Meaning is something deeper. And the difference between the two is this: feelings change with the weather. Meaning doesn't. My neighbor, a man named Albert, lost his wife of 53 years 2 summers ago. I went to see him about a month after the funeral, expecting to find a broken man. Instead, I found him in his garage building a bookshelf. I asked him what it was for. He said his late wife had always wanted a reading corner in the bedroom. She never got around to it. He was going to finish it for her. He wasn't happy. I could see that plainly. His eyes were tired, his hands moved slowly, and he paused every few minutes to just breathe. But there was something in that garage that I can only call purpose. Something solid holding him up from the inside. The bookshelf took him 6 weeks. He painted it white because that was her favorite color. He put it in the bedroom corner. He filled it with her books in the order she had stacked them on her nightstand. He told me afterward I wasn't happy while I built it, but I was never once empty. Not happy, never empty. That's meaning. That's what fills the space that happiness keeps leaving behind. If you're still with me, good. Because the third thing, this is the one I spent the most years running away from. And it's the one that changed everything once I finally turned around to face it. The third thing I do instead of chasing happiness, I let grief and gratitude live together. For most of my life, I believed they were opposites. That you couldn't grieve and be grateful at the same time. That sadness canceled out thankfulness. So whenever grief came, and it came often, as it does the older you get, I tried to manage it. Push it toward gratitude before it was ready to go. Replace it, patch over it. That never worked. The grief just went underground and came back heavier. My son passed away 11 years ago. He was 52. Too young. Far too young. For the first 2 years, I couldn't talk about him without the pain swallowing everything else. I couldn't look at photographs. I couldn't go to the places we used to go together. But slowly, not because I tried, but because time has its own wisdom, something shifted. I began to notice that the grief and the gratitude were not fighting each other. They were holding each other up. The grief was so heavy because the love had been so real. And the gratitude for 52 years of a son who made me laugh, who called just to talk, who put his arm around me at his mother's grave and said, "I've got you, Dad." That gratitude didn't erase the grief. It lived inside it. I stopped trying to be happy about losing him, and I started being grateful that I had him at all. Those are not the same thing, but they can exist in the same heart. And when they do, they make something stronger than happiness ever could. 3 things: presence over pleasure, meaning over feeling, grief and gratitude together. The fourth one is the simplest, and somehow it took me the longest to find it. The fourth thing I do instead of chasing happiness, I practice the word enough. Happiness, by its nature, always wants more. More peace, more joy, more good days. It sets a bar, and the moment you reach it, the bar moves. That's not a flaw in the people chasing it. That's a flaw in the chase itself. Enough is different. Enough looks at what's already in the room and says, "This counts." This morning I woke up before the sun. My knees ached the way they always do. The house was cold. I made coffee and sat by the window and watched the sky turn from black to gray to the palest kind of blue you've ever seen. Nobody called it a beautiful morning. There was nothing remarkable about it. But I sat there with my coffee, and I said out loud to no one, "This is enough." And it was. Not because I convinced myself, not because I forced gratitude like medicine I didn't want to take, but because somewhere along the road of 80 years, I had finally learned to stop measuring this moment against a better one. The Japanese have a word, ma. It means the pause between things, the space between notes that makes music possible, the silence between words that gives them weight. Enough is like that. It's not the absence of more. It's the recognition that the space you're already standing in has value. That the quiet Tuesday you're living right now is not a rehearsal. It is the thing itself. I'm 85 years old, and I stopped trying to be happy. Not because happiness is wrong, not because joy doesn't matter, but because I spent 80 years believing happiness was the destination, and I nearly missed every beautiful thing that was happening along the road. 4 things. That's what I do instead. I choose presence over pleasure, because being fully inside one ordinary moment is worth more than 100 half-lived wonderful ones. I look for meaning instead of feeling, because meaning stays when the feelings go, and it holds you up when nothing else can. I let grief and gratitude live together, because they are not opposites. They are 2 names for the same love. And I practice enough, because the life you're living right now, with all its quiet and all its smallness, it is enough. You are enough. This moment is enough. The cat was back last Tuesday, sitting under the same streetlight, looking up at the same dark sky. I watched him for a while, and for those few minutes, I wasn't chasing anything at all. If this story found you at the right moment, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want more stories like this, I'll be here. Every week, one more chapter. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.